All right, babies. It's that time again. Going to get some lentils and beef and veggies. Throwing them in the slow cooker. It's going to be my meal for the week, honey. Yeah, baby. What you do when you have no money, honey. So what did we do yesterday? Yesterday we jumped into Mark 3. Didn't really, not a big surprise. Not enjoying a lot of that. There was one verse that I was like, all right, now that sounds like something Jesus would say. He said something like, those who do the will of God are my mother, brother and sister, that type of thing. And I was like, all right, that sounds like Jesus, right? Because I think there are two things that are two criteria that scholars use to identify likely authenticity of Jesus' statements. One is that of embarrassment, and by that, what they mean by that is it's highly unlikely that the passage or the quote would be attributed to him if it caused any sort of potential criticism or, put him in a light that's, not adulatory. Is that the right word? So like, for instance, they usually say, it's likely that John did baptize Jesus because why would Jesus be needing to be baptized? He didn't sin. He was, more gifted, so to speak, or had a larger mission. So they usually do use that as an example of criteria of embarrassment and therefore likely to be true. And it's kind of crossed in my mind. Similarly, this other criteria, I think, and I think the scholars do too, but I don't know how they labeled it. But that's these iconoclastic things that Jesus would do that I guess it's similar to the embarrassment criteria, because it puts him in a light where he's challenging the rule of the day, or centuries for that matter. And that's how I look at this verse. He's saying, I'll tell you who does the will of God. It's not all you Moses worshipers. It's the ones who do the will of God. All right, so what's the will of God? He doesn't explain. And that's another piece I think is more assuring that you're looking at a verse that is Jesus breathed, is when I'm trying to wake up, see if my black coffee is working. When it's paradoxical or just mysterious, or something you would maybe find often in a Zen Buddhist context. Those statements, I think, are highly likely to be Jesus. So to me, anything that doesn't sound like Jesus is just parroting Moses or the Jews, I think those are trustworthy statements. Now, Additionally, the other reason why I'm pretty strong in that regard is because when I sort of hung my life, so to speak, and I am hanging my life right now, on certain passages, quotes, ideas, I find them to be endlessly powerful in being a resource for me when I have no resources. Like, for instance, right now, I literally have no resources. But even within myself, those type of resources, the engagement I get, the, what do you call it? Just the power to love life and to embrace it and to stay true to what I passionately love and believe in the face of darkness. Those are the kind of verses that I'm referring to that have been life affirming for me. So it's not just what I'm saying, the scholarly thing, because the scholars don't know crap about what I'm talking about. I mean, some of them might be, spiritually connected, but I'd say a lot of them, if not half of them. What time is it? I don't think it's time for me to go see Kate yet. Let me see. Yeah.
Experiences with older and younger women on and off the
autism spectrum. Oh yeah, she's open. Okay. I like to go see my GNC girlfriend. Don't worry, she's not a girlfriend, but I love her. Man, there is not one spot for me to park. All right, so let me see. I'll go get my vegetables first, and then we'll come back and see Kate. So yeah, that's it, baby. So I didn't find much there. I don't even really want to talk about it because I didn't find much there. But I think what I'm talking about is really useful. You kind of put the two together, honey. You put this scholarly criteria together with spiritual juice, and what you get is a very solid, trustworthy guidance that you can hang your hat on, baby. Yeah. So what else can we say? Got another minute and a half. Yeah, I'm trying like hard to stay positive in spite of this. Oh my God, it's almost like it's as if, I've already said this, but it's becoming more clear to me. Like, there may never have been a Job, but as I'm going through this, I feel like the story is in there because it is God-breathed, because God will take this position of, have you considered my servant Frank? Oh, he'll cuss you out the minute I take away such and such or this or that. Oh yeah, you think so? Go ahead. I feel like, because really, like, God could have intervened at some point and kept me from losing all my money. He did not. He could have kept me from falling out of my car and not breaking my finger so I can't play guitar anymore. He did not. He could have kept me from falling in love with this guy who basically led me down this crazy path of destruction. He did not. So, yeah. How's that for God's protection? I'm happy. Isn't that all that matters?